That's right. It is time to hit the hard deck. We are excited to get out on the ice and finally do some ice fishing. We're up here at Strawberry Reservoir in northern Utah, and it took a while for the lake to finally freeze, but we're excited to be able to drill some holes and catch some fish through the ice. So, without further delay, we will be fishing with two main baits primarily, or two main colors: a chartreuse with dark green flake added to it. Fished this color a lot this year, and it's been absolutely mind-blowing how many fish it can catch. And then the second one is I call it PB and J because it's kind of a pink color that kind of fades into a brown color depending on the lighting situation and how thick the plastic is. It's an awesome color. Fished it a lot last year as well, and caught a lot of fish so far on it this year. Um, on this trip, we ended with about 30 to 40 fish, but I didn't fish all day. I had to leave because I had a pounding migraine of a headache, but I was able to land 30 to 40. Would have called it a 50 fish day if I had stayed past 3 o'clock, but I just had to go. So, all right, without further delay, let's get to it. All right, so the entire lake is not frozen, so we had to snowmobile around kind of the backside. For anyone that's familiar with Strawberry Reservoir, we went to past Bryan's Fork, not quite to Renegade, and we fished a point that I'm pretty familiar with down here, and that's where we traveled to. There was about 2 feet of snow, but the road is well groomed, so really any sled would have made it down this road just fine. And then it was just a short trip through that hillside, through a hillside with about 2 feet of snow on it to get down to the ice. The first thing that I wanted to point out during this video is that this tool, the strike indicator that you can see attached to my rod, is by far, in my opinion, the most important tool for someone who is learning to ice fish or ice fishing for the first time. You absolutely cannot detect the majority of the bites that you will get without these. So people that go ice fishing and don't catch fish, in my opinion, a major reason is if they're not using these strike indicators, you're missing probably 90% of the bites.
You bit twice, but I caught him on this chartreuse with dark green flake, 2-inch. Well, it's a 1.75-inch tube jig. But these tubes fish awesome at Strawberry and almost any lake. I just went to Schofield and ripped it up in that color and with those tubes as well. So pretty sweet.
So this is an example of a bite that was so strong that you might not have needed a strike indicator, but why not? It's only going to increase your chances and likelihood of detecting the bite, but this one probably would have bent a pole pretty well even without it. He hit pretty dang hard. So the ice was about 5 to 6 inches thick, just barely enough to support me in a snowmobile. I did take my snowmobile out onto the ice, but I definitely want the ice to grow thicker just so I don't have to pucker quite as much when I'm out on the ice with it. So here's another good example of how subtle these bites can be. You can see if this was just a normal rod by itself, even a really sensitive rod would be really difficult to detect this light of a bite. Sometimes I lift my rod just to see if I'm seeing the weight of my hook, because the bite is so subtle, it's even difficult to differentiate that from the weight of your hook.
Nice, another cookie cutter. There he is. 2 in a row, man. Can't even get my second rod in the water. These fish are hungry. Alright, there's another one. This one's a little smaller, probably 16 inches.
So what I want you to watch in this segment is watch as the strike indicator actually rises as the fish takes the bait. It's swimming upward, and so that actually relieves the weight of the jig from the strike indicator. Another perfect example of why, in my opinion, this is the most important tool. If they strike upward, your indicator will actually go up.
Might be the nicest cutthroat of the trip so far. Hoping to get a slot buster today. That one was caught on my 2-inch split tail fries. Got a nice little split tail here. This one's in chartreuse with that dark green flake again. You can see they really like this color. Don't even know that the bait profile matters, but nice fish. Let him go.
Why is he holding his phone, you might ask? That's why. Can't resist recording the underwater camera footage and sharing that with y'all. That's another really amazing tool. It really demonstrates and shows how few of the bites that you see on camera are actually even detectable, even with these strike indicators.
One.
So imagine how much more difficult it would be without the strike indicator or without the camera. This is not a high quality camera, by the way. It's a really cheap, inexpensive camera that was given to me as a gift, under $40, but it just adds a whole new dimension to ice fishing. So cool to be able to watch the fish swimming around, see how they react to your bait and what's going on that you can't see otherwise. Dang it, missed him again. He thought he was hooked for a second.
That didn't take long.
Also, in my opinion, it's really important to have a good stiff fishing rod, because a strike indicator makes it so you can detect the strike. The stiff fishing rod makes it so that you can drive that hook in. And so if your rod is too flexible, I feel like you don't get as good of a hook set. So you'll see almost all of my rods are set up with a pretty stiff rod, and then those extremely sensitive strike indicators on the tip, and that's why.
Really?
All right, next tip, to jig or not to jig. You'll see from a lot of these videos that any movement of the bait, in my opinion, it seems to discourage the bite. Sometimes they'll see it moving and they'll come in to investigate it, but more times than not, if the bait is moving, they won't bite. There's some days where it's the exact opposite. The bait has to be moving to get a bite, but I would say that's like 1 out of 10 days, where 9 out of 10 days, I always catch more fish when the bait is not moving or I'm dead sticking it. The one time that I think it is really beneficial to jig or add some movement to your bait is when the fish turn away. If they start swimming away from your bait, sometimes jigging will get them to turn around as that movement hits their lateral line and they want to see what's going on. But if they're already looking at your bait, more times than not, just keep it still and it'll produce a bite. Here's one of the double. Really nice cutthroat. And number 2, cookie cutter, about the same size. There's number 2 of the double. And there's 2 more down there. I swear, every time I get hungry, the fish get hungry. I cannot have a bite to eat in peace without catching fish left and right. But I'll take it.
Another nice cutthroat. Another one down there. Another double. Alright, just a smaller cutthroat. There goes that one.
Okay, I'm going to show you a secret to catching all these fish. I think a huge part of it is this. This bait has been really good for me today. This is a fantail grub, 2-inch fantail grub, and when you rig it, you can see the tail can be rigged vertically or horizontally. Ice fishing, your presentation is primarily vertical, but if you jig this horizontal, it'll catch more water as it glides down, and that will make the bait move left to right. And so I think it's just a slightly different, unique presentation that the fish just absolutely cannot stand. They just see it and they want to eat it. So it looks a little bit more natural. Fish is really good that way. So put that one on the bottom. Then we also had the crawdad still on the top. It's still catching a lot of fish too. So we're gonna keep going with it.
Another nice cutthroat. Caught that one on camera. 2 cameras. That's awesome. Alright, another nice cutthroat. Probably just 15, 16 inches. Chill, chill, chill. Chill.
I have also noticed that sometimes the camera seems to bother them. Other days, it makes no difference. In fact, this fish swims right up and tries to bite the lens of the camera. So cool.
Sorry, there you go.
All right, thanks for watching. If you like the content, mash that like and subscribe and help my channel out so that I can produce more underwater footage. It's just so much fun to watch. So appreciate all your support. Thank you for what you do, and fish on.